Good Erev Shabbos, everyone. Erev Shabbos, Pasha Shoftim, moving into the month of Elul. We know that Elul is a time of preparation for Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. It's described in all of the books, the time when Kodesh Baruch Hu is close to us, and he's close to us in order to be able to facilitate our ability to be able to prepare ourselves, to be able to do the work that we need to do during the Aseret Shemei Tshuva, which is to be able to reinvent ourselves and to re-justify our existence. All of these are themes that we need to talk about at some point. And that the month of Elul is 30 days of really preparation, of getting ready for that, of looking at our directions, looking at who we are, looking at what we're doing, understanding ourselves, pouring ourselves into what we do in order to be able to have the strength to be able to make that connection to Kodesh Baruch Hu, so that to be able to make that shift, that cosmic shift in who we are, we'll be able to do that with the preparation that we're doing during these days. And all of that is beautiful. And I really could speak hours and hours. There are many svarim, beautiful svarim to learn that tell us about this concept. But there's got to be a place that it all starts. There's got to be a place that from there you can start to build. From there you can then look at yourself and say, you know what? I need to recreate myself. I need to reinvent myself. But there's got to be a big bang. There's got to be something that says, okay, let's go. Let's do this. Let's change. Otherwise, it becomes another month of Elul, another Rosh Hashanah, another Yom Kippur. What's the big bang? What's that thing that gets the whole thing started? So the Rambam says in Hilchos Tshuva, Perek Gimel Halacha Daled, that Aval Pi Shetchiyah Shofar B'Rosh Hashanah Gezeres HaKosav Remez Yeshbo, that even though the blowing of the shofar in Rosh Hashanah is a Gezeres HaKosav, it's a decree from the king, from the Torah. It's a decree. It's what we do. No explanation that's given. There's no reasons that are given, but it's clear on the simplest level what the reason of the blowing the shofar is. Is Klomar Uru Yeshenim Yishinaschem. Wake up from your sleep. The sound of the shofar is the sound that wakes us up. It's the sound that reminds us, look at yourselves, do something. But if you look at the language that the Rambam uses, Uru Yeshenim Yishinaschem, wake up from your shena, from your sleep, V'nirdamim Mikitzu Mitadamaschem, and you sleepy once you wake up from your sleep. Sort of like he repeats himself twice. What do you need two different words for sleeping? Yeshenim and Nirdamim. And why is it that to wake up the Yeshenim, the people that are sleeping, so it's the word Uru, to be more, to wake them up. V'nirdamim Hikitzu, much more severe word, like really wake them up. Mitadamaschem. Why is there two different sleeps here that are being described? Sound of the shofar, there's the sound of a shofar. Sound of the shofar generally says, wake up. Calls to us, wake up. What do you need? What do you need the two words for? And then what are you supposed to do? V'chipsu b'ma'asechem, v'chazu b'tshuva, v'zichru barachem. And then you'll look at your ma'asim, you'll be chazu b'tshuva, you'll return in repentance, v'zichru barachem, and you'll remember your God. Really, it should be the other way around. You remember your God, and then you look at your actions, and then you do tshuva. What's going on here? I'll tell you a very interesting thing. These two words, tardema and shena, are two of the many words that are used to describe sleep. And they actually appear in a pasuk in Bereshis, in the second chapter of Bereshis, pasuk 21, when the Kodesh Baruch Hu creates man and then puts him to sleep in order to be able to take a piece of him and to create Chava. Vayapel Hashem Elokim, tardema ala Adam vayishon, that he puts him into a very deep sleep, vayishon, and he sleeps. And then vayikachachas mitzalosov, while he was sleeping, he took out one of his things. So according to many of the Mepharshim, it was like anesthetics. That he put him into this deep sleep, as the Targum Yonason says, or Hashem Elokim shinsa mikta, very deep sleep. In order to be able, that he shouldn't be in pain, he was having major surgery, anesthesia. And then Vayishon, and after that, he slept it off. And that according to most commentaries, a tardema is a much deeper sleep than shena. And perhaps what's being described here, what's being set out for us here in Bereshis, is that there is a concept that in a person's lifetime, that there are times when we're asleep, but there's two different types of sleep. There's shena, which is from the word according to the commentaries, from the word of darkness, yishain laila, that in other words, it's without light, without sparkle. So that we're sleeping through things, we're anesthetized, we're not feeling anything. We're experiencing everything, we're going through everything, we're going through the motions, but we're not feeling anything. And the reason that we're not feeling anything is because we're not paying attention to what's going on. We're not thinking about what's going on, we're not processing things. We have an experience, we move on. Right? We have a nice time, everything is great, but we don't look at it and say, how did this change my life? What did this do for me? We don't hear a piece of Torah and say, well, okay, how do I assimilate that inside of myself? We don't have a davening and say, wow, I feel close to Hashem. I checked the box. I did my davening, but I'm not thinking about anything. And that's shena. I'm sleeping through life. I'm just moving through. I'm going from one place to another place. But then there's tardema. And tardema is a much deeper kind of sleep. And that's where we go and we escape reality. We change reality. Where we live our lives in a way that we're not affected by anything around us, because we say that it's nothing, right? The mitzvahs are nothing, the things that we do are nothing, they're not important, they're not valuable. And we've created a new reality for ourselves, a reality where there isn't avodas Hashem, where there isn't the service of God. Maybe there's mitzvahs, but there's not a sense of connection to Kodesh Baruch Hu. But it's not just because we're not thinking, but it's because we've created a new structure for ourselves. That this is really okay. And this is really acceptable. And that's in a very deep sleep. Because we're very disconnected from reality and very disconnected from life and very disconnected from what's going on, and we feel nothing around us. And maybe that's what the Rambam is referring to. That the Rambam says, what's Shofar all about? Shofar is all about ulu yeshenu mishinaschem. For people that have shena, for people that have this lighter sleep, this sleep where they're not feeling because they're not thinking, they're experiencing, but they're not thinking. They haven't created a new reality. They haven't denied anything. They're not redoing anything. They're just sleeping through. They're just verschluffen. Uru, wake up. If you wake up, if you open your eyes and you start to think and to see and to feel, you know what? You'll get it. But to those people that are near Domim, those people that are in Tardema, those people that are in this deep sleep, that are so disconnected from the world, the only thing to do is hikitsu. Kates, stop, cut it off. You have to just cold turkey. You have to turn the ball around. You have to say, you know what? I'm done with this. It can't be this way. It's got to be a different way. And it's not just waking up, but it's stopping the madness. And that's what the shofar says to us. Fascinating, there are two sounds to the shofar. There's kia, and then there's a chua. The question is whether it's a shvarim or a chua, but there are two sounds. The kia is the sound that says to us, Uru yeshenu mishinaschem, wake up. But the chua is the sound that turns to the people that are in Domim, people in Tardema, and it says to them, it cries, it sobs, and it says, you got to stop, you got to change, you got to end it here, and you got to wake up. And what happens when you wake up? By definition, chipsu ma'aschechem, you're going to look at your actions. You're going to say to yourself, what am I doing? Who am I? What do I want to be? Why is all of this happening to me? Why is my life the way it is? Good or bad? But I need to do something with this. You're going to realize that there are ramifications and consequences to the things that you do. And where does this lead? To tshuva. And where does tshuva lead? Tshuva leads to zichru barachem, to remembering God. When you're awake and you're thinking and you're feeling and you're seeing and you're understanding and you're experiencing with your brains on in the reality of the Torah, Zichru Barachem, you'll automatically connect everything back to God. That's the month of Elul. That's the beginning piece. The beginning piece is Tut Iru Yishenim Mishinaschem. And if you're so verschlufen, V'yakutz v'nirdomim hikitzu mitademaschem. Wake up. You got 30 days to wake up. Wake up. And then everything else will fall into place. All the beautiful Torah of Elul, all the stuff about the king is in the field, all the stuff about that you can pick yourself up and lift yourself up and you can make yourself a new person and you can reinvent yourself and justify your existence and all of those gorgeous concepts. But the place it has to start, the Big Bang, is wake up. Because when you're awake and you're up, you will be able to see. You'll be able to look at the things you do and appreciate what goodness and what greatness really is. You'll be able to make those changes easily because the reality will be clear to you. And you'll be able to immediately connect all of this up to God. That's the month of Elul. Wake up. We should have a beautiful Shabbos. And a Shabbos where we wake up. And every day of this month of Elul, we should be more awake than the day before. So that ultimately, Zichru Barachem, and when Rosh Hashanah comes, we'll be able to fly back home.